Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's only me, Woosha Richard. I want to thank you for joining me once again. Excuse me. I want to say in this video, okay, I'm going to be talking about good methods, okay, good ways that you can avoid negative people, basically, as in, or get rid of people that are just so annoying and they just like to talk so much rubbish to you, or they like to let themselves be heard, you know, and people that can be just so boring, people that just want to let you do all the listening and follow what they say, and basically they just like to hear the sound of their own voice, and they seem kind of eccentric. It seems like there's something wrong with their mind where they just keep talking and following you around and calling you up, where are you, and all this, and they just you can't get rid of these people, you know what I mean? And they're just really annoying, and they're big heads, they're cocky, they've got some kind of ego, let's say, maybe, and they know everything and they think they're clever. These kind of people, you know, I'm sure you know people like that, and it can be very hard, especially if you're working with them or there's some way you can't avoid bumping into them sometimes, you know. And these kind of people sometimes can be very irritating, okay, very annoying, and you don't know what to do. You can't really. You could tell them to clearly fuck off, you know, or please, you know, leave. But you don't want to do that, or there may be some reason you don't want to, get into such cause trouble as such. But it could be awkward, and you don't know what to say. You don't know what to do, and this person, you just want to drop them fast, drop them with a knockout, only joking, and you just want to get rid of them, you know, and not have to let them keep bothering you. Okay, we're going to look at some ways. Okay, I've found the best ways, and I think these are probably the best ways. One way is just by being totally absent, as in not being there, as in cut it early if you can. As soon as you start picking up on this person's like an irritating person, you know, and they want to, well, what are you doing on the weekend? Or what are you doing this afternoon? Or you're busy? What do you mean? What are you doing? What time do you eat? What time do you scratch your ass? These kind of people, yeah, who just fucking ask you all these questions and they're just following you around like a dog. Basically, yeah, avoid them first off. Cut it off early, or if it's been going on for a while and you want to start this, you can start it. It's never too late to start doing a good thing to wash out this bullshit. It's never too late to flush the toilet. That's one of the points in this video, I think. Okay, excuse me. So one thing you can do, yeah, is simply avoid it early by or whenever. Just cut it off and say, you know, oh, I'm busy this weekend. I've got such and such thing to do. The more time you give the person, or the more you agree, and the more you be there, and the more you show you're present, the more, in some ways, in some instances, I'm just saying, right, that you'll have to put up with this. And I'm going to say something in a minute. I'm going to get onto some more points, okay, which will kind of go against what I'm saying here, which will contradict what I'm saying here. But it depends, right? So first of all, that's the first thing you can do, right? So one thing is avoid it straight away. Start saying things like you're busy, you know, or maybe next week, or maybe 2 weeks later, things like that. Delay it for as long as you can, like having to meet this person again or whatever, or I've got somewhere to go, no, I need to rush, sorry. That's one thing, yeah. Another thing you can do is when you're with the person, this is the best thing, right? Another thing I'm saying you can do if you want to get rid of them fast, and if you can't really avoid them as such, this is the next best thing you can do, and it's really good. Is each time they're with you and they start to give you all this bullshit, try to bore the fuck out of them. Excuse my language, bore them away. Now, someone who likes to hear their own voice could be one or the other. But nevertheless, they're still human, and they're going to exhaust themselves. After all, you've been really patient. You've shown you've got more power within you, haven't you? You're more stronger and you're more mentally focused. And most of these people are weak anyway from the inside, or they wouldn't be so shallow. And so they're definitely going to exhaust themselves out and get the fuck out of there. And some of these people are actually surprisingly clever enough to still know when to quit it themselves. But the thing is, you're having to put up with this crap, and you're having to like meet them at this time of that hour, or every time you bump into them it's just the same old thing every time, and you're having to like give more of your time, and this is the problem. So act like you're absent. That's another thing you can do, is act stupid. Pretend that you don't have a clue about anything that they're saying. Pretend you don't understand. Pretend this or that. And use language in your mind to your advantage. Another thing you can do is don't speak so much in their favour. Okay? If you are going to speak, at least bore them by speaking about other stuff that they don't understand, or something like that. But it's like, if they're speaking to you about all this stuff and they know that you're there to listen to them, this might be a let out for them. This might be their escape. Like, we all need someone to talk to, we understand. But like, these people might feel that, yes, this is my chance. They'll feel that every time you're the one there where they can let all of their frustration out and talk to you, and you're the one who will listen and look up to them, and they feel like they're kind of big and they're special. And they don't see, they're blind to them, so they can't see how stupid they are, how blind they are, and wrong they are in how they're carrying on. But what you can do is, act like you don't understand anything they're saying, but don't give them spaces. Don't say things like, "Oh no, what do you mean?" and "What is that?" Or don't get brought into the conversation like it's real. It's not. It's like eccentricness. It's not reality, don't forget. It's all totally just mumbo jumbo in this dream world for the most part. Or at least it's not part of what you care about, right, in your life. It's not real. So what you can do basically is you can just pretend you don't have a clue. You don't give them much information at all, because most of anything you say, be it questions or answers, some of these people, they'll just have something else to say. So if you start to say what you think or how you feel, remember, to most of these people it doesn't matter. They don't give a shit. They're going to say yes but, no but, and they don't have a clue really what you're saying. They're not really listening. They only like listening to themselves anyway, and then they feel more big and proud of themselves to prove you wrong, and you may even add more time on to this fucking ordeal for yourself, and they won't shut up even further. So if you've got to act like you don't know, or you're not interested, or politely, and just give them enough space to let them exhaust themselves from talking, so they can hear their own voice. And come across like you're stupid. Don't forget, you're much superior. You're much more wiser than these people. But if you come across to this person who is clever enough to be looking at you in some way, because they've got their attitude, and they're just talking, and then what you do is, if you give them the impression that you are just so boring, or that you don't have a clue about this or that, and you don't understand the real world, at least as they see it from their point of view, if you don't understand anything that they're saying, they will just look at you as being simple-minded or negative or boring or whatever. Let them think what they want of you. They may hate you, they may even spread a bad word about you to others, but fuck that, The true shining light shines through. Positivity shines through. The negativity does too. You can't run from the truth and fuck people whatever they want to think. You communicate with the people who you do want to, But I'm just saying, that's what you do, and what will happen is they will get bored of that, and then they will more than likely cut it in early themselves. They will cut off communication. They will just they'll probably say things like, "Oh, they're busy" or whatever. You'll say, "Okay, when we get some time, fair enough." And slowly they'll just whittle away, and they'll just get on with what they're doing. But I've made mistakes in the past myself. This is all from experience, okay? I've made mistakes in the past too, like talking to people that are like these negative people, and I've been spending so much time with these people, listening, and I've made the conversation go on, trying to be positive, and it hasn't done any good. It's just wasted my time ultimately. And when you look back on it, you've wasted your time for the most part. We can learn from all situations, good and bad, but it's like I wasted a lot of my time. So this is something. This is what you can do, to not waste so much time. So another thing I want to say, okay, though, is one thing is sometimes when someone's negative like that or very simple, sometimes you can use your mind and put someone in the right picture by, it's arguable who's right or wrong or what's positive and negative. Fair enough, because everybody's different, they've got their own outlook and their own ideas and the way they see the world. But it's like if you've got your own. If you're positive and you've got positive ideas and you've got something good and you want to shine some light on the subject or show that you have your own ideas and your own thoughts and ideas, sometimes it can work with some people who may be a little bit more clearer or smarter. Sometimes it's like if you start telling them your ideas or asking questions that are valuable, then you may help change their thinking, and midway in the conversation they will slow down. You will slow down their talk and get them thinking. You will turn it round more and maybe get them listening to what you're saying, and you'll be able to control the conversation, or at least control it into some form of more useful than the crap that they're just throwing at you. But the thing is, the ultimate thing is you don't want to waste time for people and you don't want to be there if you don't want to be. But if that doesn't always work, as I say though. But it's good to be positive no matter what, not always run away, but I'm just saying, right, if you're there and there's some arsehole, some guy, some negative person, a man or woman, or boy or girl, just giving you all that, and you know that there's no way you can prove it, it's like everything they're saying has got nothing to do with the reality as in the moment what you're in now with this person, and they're just trying to tell you how to fix your life, this and that, or what it is and this and that, and if that is no, you can't find the common grounds and they can't hear anything you're saying, they don't listen. If you can't avoid, the best thing to do is, as I said, the first thing is avoid them if you can. Another thing is, if you can't avoid them, be absent and come across as boring or totally blank, like you've got no idea what they're talking about, you don't know anything, and they'll just think you're boring, stupid, or both, and they'll just get bored of it. Another thing you can do is come across stupid. You can play the actor, play along, and even ask them things and talk about things which they obviously don't have a clue about. And talk about things, and but then again you're going to exhaust yourself and waste time, as I know I've done this, and it can add time on, and this could be a big mistake sometimes. But one thing you can do is, another thing you can do, I'm saying, is come across as how can I say, simple-minded, come across as like a mirror of what they are, as in they're talking about fruit, let's say, and then you start talking about computer games, something totally different. Or you start talking about your holidays and stuff, or you start talking about this or that, or let's say you could go really deep and start talking about this or talking about that, and if you can, try to make it something boring or something that they just cannot understand. Find it something where it's like, where they won't have much say on it, or just come across as total mumbo jumbo. Like you will say something, and like keep happy-go-lucky, simple, and and they'll just think you're silly or whatever, and you're just joking around or whatever they say. Or find the language that kind of fits in on the situation, the topics and stuff we're talking about that seem to be way out of their situation. And then what will happen is they'll find that there's no common ground between you both. They'll think you're just simple, and they'll just leave it at that. Remember, these kind of people will always go through their whole life thinking that they're the cleverest person in the world, and people like you are just stupid. They'll either think, but if you do speak more and that, and if you go against them and that, they'll just see you as stubborn, they'll see you as negative. And it's so funny that they can do that. But it's like if you just sit there and listen and that, and just ask too many questions or be friendly, and if you always go running for them and always are there when they need you to be, let's say, then you're just giving them that, something, and they'll try to use you. And believe me and you, okay, it doesn't stop there with some of these people. Some of these people, not only will they just waste your time over and over again because they feel big in themselves, but also they might take that to some advantage, and they'll try to use you and make you look stupid in front of others. Now, it's okay if this fucker wants to think what they want, but if they start, spreading it and making you look like a dickhead in front of other people who may be normal people, it could be in your job, at work, this does matter. Even though it doesn't matter what other people think, fuck them, but still this is reality. So try to avoid them at all costs. Don't give them anything to, don't feed the fire, don't throw logs on the fire, that's what I will say, you know what I mean? Or throw too many stones in the water and then you drown yourself as the water rises, you know what I'm trying to say, yeah? that's what I'll say. Don't throw your time away for these people, time, money, and all the rest of it. If they want to help you, if they say to you like, oh, they can help you, or can you this, or can they borrow this or that, try to make it so politely but very, very awkward. Don't make it like you're arguing with them straight away. Don't give them any negative terms. Come across as you're simple and friendly, but you just don't have a clue about this or that, and you just, you're very quiet in yourself, and you just don't have what's necessary, because you drop yourself in the shit, and sometimes you can't avoid it, it's going to come round. So you want to cut this off early. That's what I'm trying to say, yeah? Because otherwise you'll regret it. That's what I will say. And not only that, there's more than one of these kind of people sometimes, okay? So that's what I'll say, avoiding, that's the best way to avoid or get rid of a negative, rambling son of a bitch, okay? Thank you very, very much for watching. Train hard and stay safe. I'll do more videos on this. There's a few topics I forgot to mention here, just a few more points I forgot to bring up. I'm not kind of tired today too, so I'm not that clear in my head, but I'll try and think of some more points when I can and let you know. Just remember though, as I say, it's about time, and it's about how you use your time and not let others use your time. No matter how clever they may be, or no matter how stupid they may be, okay? Train hard and stay safe. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, everybody.